The corridors of the Empress's palace stretched endlessly, a labyrinth of shimmering metal and floating lights that defied any sense of normal geometry. I had been escorted here under armed guard, yet every step I took seemed to shrink the distance between me and the throne, as if the palace itself guided me. My heart thudded unevenly, not from fear, but from the weight of knowing exactly who I was about to meet. The Alien Empress. She was said to have conquered countless worlds, toppled dynasties with a single decision, and commanded loyalty through sheer force of presence. Every being in the sector, human or alien, had learned to bend before her authority. And yet here I was, a solitary human, standing before her as if the stories of her wrath had never touched me. The guards opened the final set of doors, and there she sat. The Empress's throne was a sculptural marvel of black, crystalline metal that seemed to absorb light rather than reflect it. She didn't rise, nor did she gesture. Her eyes, immense and luminescent, scanned me with the precision of a predator analyzing prey. But I did not falter. Her voice, when it came, was both melodious and lethal. "Why aren't you afraid?" I straightened my back, keeping my tone calm and deliberate. "Because fear has never helped me survive. It only makes hesitation permanent." She tilted her head, an expression that was almost human, yet distinctly alien. Bold words. Yet many have died for speaking with such insolence before me. "I am aware," I replied, letting my gaze meet hers without flinching. "I also know the consequences of cowardice. If I flee in fear, I have already lost. If I stand and reason, I still have a chance." A silence stretched between us, heavy and thick, almost tangible. The Empress's gaze did not waver, and neither did mine. Around the throne room, holographic projections of battlefields, conquered worlds, and her enemies being annihilated flickered silently, yet I remained unshaken. "Most humans crumble," she said, almost softly, though her voice carried a weight that could crush mountains. "Why are you different?" I thought for a moment, choosing my words carefully. "Perhaps because I have lived in the shadows of empires. I've faced death before it had a chance to think about me. I've seen power without morality, and it taught me one thing: strength is meaningless if it is not measured against restraint and purpose." The Empress leaned forward slightly, her presence pressing down on me like gravity. "Purpose. You speak of purpose as if it shields you. Do you not feel the insignificance of your kind before mine?" I swallowed, acknowledging her point without showing fear. "I do. Humans are fragile, limited. But we endure. We adapt. And sometimes, in our fragility, we become unpredictable. That unpredictability is not weakness. It is survival." Her lips curved into a faint, unreadable smile. "Unpredictable," she mused, almost to herself. Then, almost imperceptibly, she rose from her throne. Her movement was fluid, every step commanding, yet her eyes never left mine. "You have courage," she said, circling me as if inspecting a weapon. "Or is it foolishness?" "Perhaps both," I admitted. "But courage without fear is meaningless. I know fear exists. I feel it. I just choose not to obey it blindly." She stopped directly in front of me, the heat of her presence palpable. Her hand hovered near mine, not touching, yet I felt the energy she radiated like a tangible force. Humans often mistake boldness for fearlessness. But true courage, it comes from understanding the consequences, knowing you could die, yet choosing to act anyway. I nodded slowly. "Then you understand me." A silence followed. The Empress's eyes, glowing faintly in the dim light, scrutinized me. Then, unexpectedly, she laughed. A low, melodic sound that resonated through the throne room, sending a shiver down my spine. Few have ever met me without trembling. Fewer still have made me laugh. Then perhaps you underestimate humans, I said. She studied me, tilting her head. Perhaps. Or perhaps you are unique. Tell me, human, how do you survive when everyone around you falls in fear? I focus on what matters, I replied. I make decisions based on reality, not imagination. And I trust in actions more than words. That's why I am here, alive, speaking to you, not kneeling in terror. The Empress's smile widened, showing hints of teeth that shimmered faintly under the crystal light. Interesting. Most would die trying to convince me of such a thing. Yet here you are, breathing, speaking, human, bold human. She circled once more, her hands clasped behind her back. Then, abruptly, she stopped, raising a finger to point at me. You have survived the tales. You have survived the corridors. You have survived me. But tell me, would you survive the truth? I met her gaze steadily. I have survived truths far worse than you could present. Her smile shifted to something softer, more contemplative. Humans so fragile, yet so resilient. I wonder if more of your kind thought like you, what the galaxy would look like. You would have fewer enemies, I said. Perhaps fewer, she admitted. And yet, every time I meet one like you, I wonder, why have I not destroyed you? Perhaps because you see value where others see weakness, I offered. The Empress's gaze lingered on me, and for a moment, the weight of her presence softened. She extended her hand, an unprecedented gesture. Step closer. Let me measure this courage of yours. I approached cautiously, aware that any wrong move could end me. When I stood before her, she lowered her hand just short of touching me, and the energy between us crackled, palpable and strange. Indeed, she whispered, you are different. Fear does not bind you. That is rare. You call it rare, I said. I call it necessary. Her eyes softened slightly, her posture relaxing, though the aura of authority remained unbroken. You speak wisely, human. Perhaps it is time you understand the empire you face, and perhaps it is time the empire understands you. I blinked, realizing she wasn't issuing a threat. She was offering something far more dangerous, recognition. Why are you showing me this mercy? I asked, voice barely above a whisper. Mercy, she echoed. No. Recognition. Respect. Even you, a human, can survive in ways that are enlightening. I nodded slowly, feeling a mixture of relief and disbelief. For the first time, I understood the power of standing unafraid before a force that could annihilate me with a thought. And for the first time, I realized that courage, true courage, was not the absence of fear, but the conscious decision to face it. The Empress stepped back, gesturing toward the exit. Leave now. But remember this, your actions, not your words, have earned my attention. Do not waste it. I bowed slightly, my pulse steady despite the tension that had filled every second prior. I will not. As I walked through the endless corridors back toward freedom, I could still feel her gaze lingering, a presence that would haunt my thoughts, not as a threat, but as a challenge. A challenge to live boldly, to face the impossible, and to survive, not through fear, but through courage and understanding. And somewhere deep in the recesses of that alien mind, I knew she was reconsidering everything she had believed about humans. About me. For in the end, survival was not about power alone. It was about the spirit that wielded it. And in that moment, for the first time, I felt like the galaxy itself had paused to watch a human walk unafraid past an alien empress.